G'day. Rip. Put this down a bit, so. Oh, I'm going to sit back. I think I worked it out. I worked Theo out. I'm uploading it right now as we talk. It's, where is it? I don't know if you can see it or not. Right. Why Theo went the way he went. What's the shortest way between 2 points? Straight across. I'm your cab driver. You want a lift. Do you tell me to go around the long way, or do you tell me to go the short way? It's just dawned on me. I was watching the footage. Now, this Tommy guy, I don't remarks where he says there's a lot of disappearing people in Byron Bay, and he makes out it's the most devious sort of place there is, right? And he goes on to this list of people disappearing, right? So first of all, he's got Theo. And then now for a start, look at the people in the background of Theo. They're not wearing suits, are they? See the guy there, look, he's got like a baggy pair of pants on. The stripes on them. See? Hippie sort of clothing. Right. I think I worked out what's happened. I used the Pommy guy's map. And he showed that Theo walked up Tennyson Street. And you think, where's Tennyson Street? Nothing makes any sense. Right. Theo walks out of the Cheeky Monkey. Instead of turning right, to head true north, like I said, Woolworths on your left, the bottle shop, past the Byron Bay Bakery, past the Byron Bay Railway Station friendly bar, which is on the train station. Then you go past the park. Then you go past the Byron Bay Bakery. Then you go to the roundabout, which you would have to turn left to go over the disused railway line level crossing, which has now been blocked off. It's got a big fence and a big pile of dirt, and on the other side, it's got a big stop sign there for the Byron Bay solar powered train. Then he would have walked out around there, and he would have followed that road right past the police station, right out, and he would have turned right at Kendall Street, right at the beginning of Ewansdale Road. Then he would have turned right, went up over the Byron Bay train tracks so the Byron Bay train goes, and then he would have turned left past Belongil Beach, and then he would have went right out to that street where you're staying, right? Number 25. Childy Street, Childe, right? 25 Childy Street. Childy, I don't know. Right. So that's where we were staying. Now, I picked up the phone here myself on this channel and put it in front of you, and I've gone like this, and I picked it up, and I've gone, oh, you stupid thing. And now, if I was sitting out there in Goo Goo World, walking around with a mobile phone, and if it didn't work, like me, I just get a little bit tired of all this sort of garbage. What you do is you run your finger down the side when you're an old man, and you push the button up, right? You push the square button there, and then you hit this button over here, and then it gives you, come here. Come on, stupid. Line up. Right. Then it gives you, you hit your button, and then you choose whatever square you're looking at, right? Whatever rectangle. Right? And then you work out, see? Wake up Byron Bay. See? So you type wake up Byron Bay. Now this is from 2 hours ago. That's where he stayed. Right? Now, it goes on there to say resort style accommodation just steps from the beach. Recently refurbished and on the beach, Wake Up offers modern quality accommodation while maintaining the bohemian beach vibe of Byron Bay. We'll relax in an array of accommodation options from private rooms to premium shared spaces. Enjoy a series of innovative spaces, including restaurants, beach-style bar, outdoor courtyard, bright and open communal spaces, fully air-conditioned rooms, modern facilities, and more. Guests have full access to an extensive list of free activities, including yoga, fitness classes, sunrise lighthouse tours, surfboards, stand-up paddle boards, and push bikes. Perks every day. We roll out a range of complimentary activities for all the guests. The perks don't stop there. You can enjoy the free hire from our signature turquoise bikes, paddle boards, surfboards, and much more. So it's got picture boards. It's got a picture of a push bike, set of weights, surfboards, paddle boards, sunrise tours, meditation classes with the Buddha, yoga classes with the arms sticking out, bus tours, 24/7 reception, yoga studios, Wi-Fi, and beach access. Right? View the perks about us. Right? So this place ain't cheap. This place is $70 a night, $78 a night, and it's not cheap. Right? There it is. It shows you where it is. Right? It's right up there towards the point. What this English guy, he had this big trap, and he said it's only a 20-minute walk from the Cheeky Monkey back to his hostel. Absolutely wrong. They say a 20-minute walk from the hostel to Byron. Now, where do they mean to Byron? They're not specifically saying the Cheeky Monkey way down the south end of Byron. They're talking about when you come into the roundabout. That's classified as being in Byron Bay. Once you come over that railway line onto that roundabout, you then have the option to go straight ahead to the lighthouse, turn left to go up to the Byron Bay beach, main beach, where the fish and chip shop is, and the Byron Bay Beach Hotel, or to turn right and go down the main street to the Byron Bay Bakery, the Byron Bay Friendly Hotel at the railway station, the Byron Bay Bottle Shop, or Byron Bay down to Woolworths, or Byron Bay down to the Cheeky Monkey. So how would it be 20 minutes down to the Cheeky Monkey? That guy said 20 minutes from the Cheeky Monkey back to his hotel. No way in this world. I have walked from Woolworths to the beach, and that takes you over 20 minutes. It is a very long walk because you're not in a hurry, right? So if the Cheeky Monkey is past Woolworths, and I use that distance from Woolworths to the Cheeky Monkey to take that off from the Byron Bay Beach back into the roundabout, That's 20 minutes. And then it would easily take me, if I was 25 years old or 20 years old, it would still take me 25 to 30 minutes to walk right out to where his hotel was. These brochures never ever tell you the correct truth. They tell you it's a 10-minute walk, and I bet you'd never timed it. You go in your local town, you go find an accommodation place, and they say it's a 10-minute walk to what's his name. And then you go and walk it, and you come back and say your brochure is bullshit, right? It's advertisement, right? Anyway, how did I find it out? I was a cab driver. Told you that. What's a cab driver drive on? Roads. I'll show you how we do it in the cab industry. Have you said to me, what's the shortest road? Right? I'd simply get, this is going to be hard to do, so you're going to have to bear with me a bit. I'm going to get the keyboard out of the road. I'm going to give you a demonstration. This is what I used to do for a living, right? I'm not making this up. Before we had GPS satellite trackers and all the other garbage, all this mobile phone crap, this is what we used to do. We get a piece of paper, Mr. Dog, you come into an inspection room. Look, Mr. Bloody Sticky Beak sticking his head into the door. Look, he thinks he's missing. You're missing out on something, aren't you? Look, hello. You hear me talking, he thinks I'm talking to him. Hey, are you? All right. Listen, we're talking about Theo Hatez, all right? Can you come back later? Go make me a steak. Go and cook me some dinner. You just want attention. He just wants attention. Why shouldn't he have some attention? Right. Now, this is how we used to do it in the cab industry. Now, I'm going to stop talking somehow. What? Say that again. I'm going to stop talking. Oh, listen. Oh, in case anybody's interested, I still got this. A Cobra 2021 a Cobra calendar, right? And it's got all the Australian Outback stuff on it. Right? Anybody wants it, let me know. Right? Look, it's beautiful colour. Just because the date runs out doesn't mean you can't use it, right? And that wasn't cheap, right? Well, that's another giveaway. I still got photos of the giveaway, right? Look, I know you're there. Go away. Go away. No. You push it. You want a bath? Come on, in the bath. I'm going to put you in the bath. Right there, and you think you're idiot. See, that's what I do. Research. Fancy the Richmond Courage on train. Right. I'll cover everything. Right. That over there. More junk, more research, more stuff I do. And I don't have a pen. Right, no, bad luck. All right. All right. That's how you measure along a street. Right? I should have a biro. If, say, for example, you're over here in your taxi, I'm over here in my taxi, and the taxi job's over here. I'd have to work out which one's the closest. Australia. Okay. I'm going to do it. What? Let's take that. And there's me. Right? So that's me there. So I'm closer because he's got that little bit extra on the edge of paper to go. Right? And that's how you mark it. You spin the edge of the piece of paper along each line, and that's how you measure it, because that's the same way the card's got to go. Now, that's the same thing that's happened with Theo. Theo's wanting to go out here to the headland. Right. So what I've done, I made a video. It's there. It's now uploading. And I walk through on Google Earth. So I don't need to go to Byron Bay. Right, not going there now. Don't need to. Because I've already worked out why. Why did Theo walk the way he walked? Because he used his phone and he went into the first memory on his phone. Right? He opened it up like that, and he's gone. And it shows you, right? That says wake up. Right? That's got the wake up. Well, no, it doesn't. Where does it go? Right. So it's got the wake up on it. Right? And he's got, no, I don't want that. And then it's got, oh, Byron Bay map. Boom. He's hit Byron Bay map. And then he's moved the map around like that. That's why his phone was still set on the resort. Think about it. He probably didn't know how to go into Maps Australia, type in the word Byron Bay. He just went back into where he's found that page on his phone was that had his hostel out here at Belongil Beach. Right? That's why he was on the page. And then he's moved the page and he's come across, like I'm doing there, like you can see in the corner. Oh, there I am down here. Byron Bay, right? And then he's going, oh yeah, Byron Bay, Woolworths. Oh, here I am, Johnson Street. Oh yeah, here I am. Cheeky Monkey. 115A, Johnson Street. And then he's gone like this. Right? Then he's come across, he's gone Kingsley Street. He's looked at the first one. It says Middleton Street. And it doesn't go anywhere there near the beach. So then he comes across and he says, well, if we keep going across Kingsley Street, the streets go that way, one goes that way, one goes that way, and then the other one goes right up that way. And he's probably heard about Cuddly Corner. So he started walking that way. So then he goes up there and then he sees the third street, which is Tennyson Street. And that's the street he walks up. I'll say that again so you can see the right spelling. Because that's what I'd do. There's Kingsley down the bottom. Then he's turned left, walked up Tennyson Street. And in his mind, he had to go right up Tennyson Street, and he didn't know it was not a complete street, because on the other side of it is a street called Gilmore Crescent, and it's broken in two. Now, this is not really going to show it, but you can sort of see there's a bunch of trees in the middle. There's Tennyson on the bottom. I lost my finger. There's Tennyson. There's Gilmore. So there's a park there through the trees. See the park? And that's when he just ran into somebody. And he said, I'm going over to the headland. I want to go there to Cuddly Corner, because it's a known fact. The woman said it in every single different story. Somebody has always said it. They go to Cuddly Corner for the fires, and the backpackers sit over there at 2 o'clock in the morning drinking alcohol. There's a bloke on the thing, and he says, yes, they all come down here drinking at 2 o'clock in the morning, because the police won't come down there, because the police have got to go all the way down there to this dead end street. So what he does, he gets up there and he sees these other backpackers coming the other way. Now, the way they're coming from, I reckon they would have been coming back from the Byron Bay Hotel up there on the beach. They walked over there to come down Gilmore Street. They walked down through the trail. They ran into him and said, join us. Backpackers do. He's walked across the park with all of them. He's gone over there. Now, I'm going to read the name of the street here. Get your pen and paper ready. Then if you want, you can rewind this video and play it back. Okay, so he's come out of Johnson Street on the corner of Kingsley, Kingssley Street. He's walked past Middleton Street. He's walked past what was it? Yeah, walked past Middleton Street. He's turned left up Tennyson Street, Temymyson Street. He's walked right up to the end of Tennyson Street, where it turns into Marble Street that way. Now, this is the western side of Marble Street, because now as I'm looking across the park, is Marble Street East. Ha ha! Now it's over. That's why I said, we're going to pull this sandwich apart. We're going to pull it apart. Let's look at it. Let's examine it. Right, and right in the middle of it, you can see there's a footpath. And I reckon that's the path he would have went across. So I said he went through the first gate near the word Byron Bay Rugby Union Club. That's where in the video I'm uploading now. I think he's actually walked down there and he's come across a footpath. There's a big footpath there. Then, in my video I'm uploading now from the live Google Earth, there's a girl sitting on a push bike on the Google Earth car on the corner of Tennyson and Marvel. And then when I got onto the other side, where the Google Earth car was on the corner of Cowper Street and Marble, the Google Earth car showed her riding across the park. The same girl. Right? Dawned on me. It's the local thoroughfare for all the locals, because they're walking into Byron Bay. They're going into Byron Bay, or if they're coming out of Byron Bay, it's their track, right? It's like a bunch of sheep come down a mountain and make a track, right? Right. You know that. You're a human being, right? You don't walk up over a hill if you can walk around it, do you? Right. So, Marble Street, Marvel Street. on the corner of Cowper Street, Cowper Street. Then he comes across and he hits Massinger, Massinger Street. Then he turns right. Then he walks down Massinger Street until he hits Short Street, Short. I'm talking about that in the video. Then he goes down to the end of that, and then he turns right on a Y fork, and he goes Patterson, P-A-1-T-E-R-S-O-N Street. He then follows that all the way right down to the corner of Milne Street, M-I-L-N-E Street. It's a dead-end street. He then walks down the very dead end of Milne Street, and that then goes into the Milne track. Now, here it is here. You can see it, clear as a bell, because I couldn't get it on the computer before. Where'd it go? Dog, why did you have to shake, mate? You scared the mobile phone. Oh, God. See what I mean? Dropped out. See? Now I've got to give it the touch-up. Right, there it is there. Milne Street. Milne track. Right? Now, he's followed that down. So there's Milne Street. And then he's followed that down there, that track. I'm doing this in front of you. Goes down there through the bushes. Now, he obviously made it all right because his GPS shows him walking along the beach. So they're right. He was with somebody. He's virtually... I go the right way. Oh, yeah. So still Milne Street track. Where is it? Comes out and where is it? Lost it. Here it is. Comes out there. Right. Bushes on one side, sandy beach on the other side. So that's the beach on this side. Right. So he's come out on the beach. There's the ocean. That's a crack in my phone. Right. So there's the ocean. There's the blue sea. Right. Then he's walked up here to there. And that's where he's got to, Cuddly Corner. Right. Now, I can't do it on this phone, but I've done it on the computer. And I used the other phone over there, which is now down there uploading it now. Come back and watch it, and you'll see the photographs of a drone shooting in at the beach. And you see the rock face. And you see the high tide. The high tide's up on the rocks during the day. And then there's other photos in the news clipping. It shows the same rocks out of the water. Now, I reckon if I knew, what date was it? 1st of June, 2019. All right, let's see if we can pull up a tidal chart. This is what I do. Boring research. Isn't this boring? Tidal chart, Byron Bay, 1st of June 2019. Tide forecast. Tide change Byron Bay 17th of November. No, don't want that. Byron Bay tidal charts. All right, let's say main beach Byron Bay tidal chart, right? Now let's just see what it says. This says for tomorrow, 17th. Still coming. Anyway, it's going anyway. So I know you can do it, right? You can go and Google the tidal chart, and I reckon it would have been a high tide at midnight. That's my bet. That's my guess. I'm going to have a guess. Someone, you can get on the internet. You can go look it up. Byron Bay Headland, New South Wales. Go look up the date. I'm pretty sure it was the 1st of June 2019 when he disappeared. What time was high tide and low tide? And if it was high tide and he's gone in there for a swim, he's got taken by the current. Because in that video that I'm uploading now, you clearly see, like I showed in previous videos, current comes around, goes around an island, comes down, swoops down the coast, and away it goes, right? And I just read out all those streets. Milne Street, come out through the walkway, because if he would have kept walking the way he was walking up Tennyson Road, through the laneway onto the next, up Gilmore Street, and then turn right and go out to the headland that way, it would have been half a kilometre, 3/4 of a kilometre longer. Because if I got a Byron Bay map, and if I done a drawing on a map using a piece of paper and a Byron Bay map, and I went along and I measured which way he walked up Gilmore Street, and then followed it around and took him out across the top and come down out there through that beach road, and then come out through there, it'll probably be about there on the end of the piece of paper. But because the way he went, I reckon he's gone up there, he probably could have got to there by then. But he didn't. But because he went up and then he doubled back on Tennyson Street, then he's cut across the park because somebody said, no, turn around, go back, take the shortcut. That's why he's gone up Tennyson Street. He's turned, come back. And like in the YouTube video I just made, it shows people standing there wearing shorts, towels, t-shirts in his left hand, girls on push bikes, and everybody's relaxed wearing flip-flops or thongs, what we call thongs, flip-flops or sandals, right? So, and it's a known hangout. That guy said 2 years ago, they all come down there. Here he is again, he's back again. He doesn't like me being on YouTube because he wants the attention. He knows I'm talking to you, so he thinks he's missing out on the attention. So that's what he's done. I reckon he's taken that as a shortcut to get out on the beach, to go have a couple of drinks with a few people. And then he sat up there, he's had a couple of drinks with them, and they've said, oh, you blah, blah, blah. And then he sat out there, he's watched his video by himself, and he's probably didn't feel comfortable with them, but there's no struggle on his data, right, on his walking track, from what I can tell. This federal bloke, he might have more info, but it's only showing to me dead straight line, dead straight line, dead straight line, dead straight line. It's not as if he's running around trying to get away from somebody, or a bunch of dot clusters as if he's sitting there having a blue with somebody, right? We don't see that much information. To me, it looks like he's walked up there with somebody and he said, thanks very much. And then he's left them down there on the beach, probably where the old bloke used to live. That's where that guy used to live, in the trees there, near the end of that Milne Street track. And then he's probably walked up there by himself. And he said, oh, you get up here, walked up to that little thing, go and watch the video. I'll show you where it is. It's not very high. It'll be about from here to my kitchen cupboard. And then he just turned around and walked back down. He sat down there. And then when you see the drone photo, and I say in the video, that's where he was sitting, you can see where he's sitting, where the rock face was, and it's a sheer cliff. And I reckon he's just thought, oh, I'll go have a little swim. And he's gone in there, just in there. And what he doesn't realise, that's where the water comes in, comes around, it hits the rock, and it's a rip. And I think that's your answer. Because when you look at the same thing at Bondi, South Bondi, It's on the TV all the time. South Bondi. Water comes in the middle and comes around the edge of the rocks and goes back. North Bondi and South Bondi, especially South Bondi. It's called Backpackers Rip because that's the way for the water to escape. The water comes in, and the more water's coming in, it's got to go out somewhere. So it goes off, it disperses off to the left and right, and it comes out on the edge of the rocks. And I reckon that's what he's done. He's gone down there, gone for a little swim, and didn't realise that was a drag out, and he's got taken out. Very simply. Along come midday, somebody's come along and said, oh, there's a phone. Don't worry about the clothes, whether he was wearing the clothes or somebody took the clothes away, a homeless person took the clothes. They're probably left town, they're probably on drugs, but somebody's picked up the phone, picked up his wallet or whatever, his stuff in his phone. The phone was gone around the corner 12 hours later. A local, by this time then it's low tide because he was there at high tide midnight on the 1st of June. If that's the date he was there, don't say I'm being perfect. I'm going off the top of my memory. 1st of June 2019, Byron Bay. 1st of June was at high tide at midnight or close to high tide or tide going out, right? After, if high tide was at 10 o'clock, it means at 12 o'clock, tide's going out, which means he's going to get sucked out, right? And then midday, they come around, they walked around the headland, and then the phones died. They dropped it in the bin because they knew full well it's a smartphone like these things here. They've got GPS trackers on them. I can go into my Google account like that, and I can go, right, where was I, for example, here I go. Look, I'll even just go into my New South Wales State Government COVID safety check-in, and I go history, and it gives me everything there where I've been, and it just tells me, right? See, Richmond, Big W, Hawkesbury Bakery. See, there you go. Tells me everything where I've been, and that's exactly what he would have. That's why the drug addict ditched his phone, and that's why when they cracked his phone open, that's when they found out. You know, that's where he was, right? Because the phone recorded, because his phone had that secret intel in the back of it, the secret new system of downloading his movement activity, and that's probably why they've caught him. I'd say that's probably why and then they've taken his wallet. 4 days later, sitting over at Nimbin pub, when his mother rang up and said, where's my son? And then it hit the news that night, 4 o'clock, that in the afternoon. Where's my son over there in Byron Bay, Theo Hatez? Right? And some drug dealer has told another drug dealer, or the drug dealer had his wallet. It's probably been over in Nimbin and said, oh shit, I've got his wallet. And they dumped it in the abandoned drug addict's house. And it's the only disused house in Nimbin. Because, like I said on a previous video, there's a guy said to a girl 7 weeks ago, both were drug addicts, do you want to hitchhike with me during lockdown and coronavirus down to Nimbin, and because you're homeless and I'm homeless, let's go sleep in the abandoned house in Nimbin. And that's 40 k's away because they've got nothing else there to do. There's nothing in Murwillumbah. It is dead as dead as dead. There is nothing there. There's no free accommodation for drug addicts. There's no free meals. There's no nothing. It's absolutely dead. It's like a ghost town during the coronavirus lockdown 7 weeks ago. It would have been absolutely dead. Everything shut. Even our local Coles here in St Mary's used to shut at 5 p.m. No word of a lie. It shut at 5 p.m. Coles, a major supermarket, would shut at 5 p.m. on a Saturday and a Sunday. 5 bloody p.m. Used to always shut it at 10 o'clock at night. But with the coronavirus lockdown, no, it shut at 5 p.m. So imagine what it was like up there in Murwillumbah when it's got one Coles, one Woolworths supermarket. It would have shut at 5 p.m. And there was no pizza shops open. You weren't allowed to buy pizza and stand there and walk up the counter and go and buy it. You had to ring up and book it and get it delivered, or you'd order it and pay for it over the phone with a credit card or some other debit card, and then you'd have to turn around and walk up to the door and have a mask on and say, pizza for the name of Smith, and have it prepaid. You've got to give them the credit card number over the phone before you picked it up. So that's what I'm saying. That's why nobody found his wallet for 2 years, because nobody was allowed to move in this country for the last 18 months. You had to do everything by phone. I've still got so many brochures there offering me pizzas, lawn mowing services. Lawn mowing services kept putting the thing in my mailbox every 3 days. Coronavirus lockdown, we give you a 20% discount, right? Because people were too scared to go out and buy petrol. And these guys were willing to come around and mow your lawn. I've got a great big long lawn out the front because my lawnmower broke down. I had 2 blokes knock on my door, stood back over the porch and said, mate, show me $50, I'll mow your front and back lawn. And they couldn't even see the back lawn, how high it was. It was about bloody this high. I just said, no, she's right. I got a tractor and a slasher. I don't need his bloody lawnmower. I've got a tractor and bloody slasher. I can pay him $50. Anyway, but getting off it. So what's the point? You see what I mean? So for 2 years, his stuff was thrown into that house. People aren't allowed to move. People in Nimbin aren't allowed to move. People weren't allowed to go to local shops after 5 o'clock in the afternoon in Nimbin. So the drug dealers were hitchhiking. And that was it. Or if you're tourism, no, you had to get a permit. You can only move a certain amount of people could go to a funeral. A certain amount of people could go to a wedding. Weddings are cancelled for 6 months. As funerals. They had a funeral here 6 months ago. The old bloke 2 doors up, he died. He died in hospital from COVID-19. They had a funeral service on the front porch. The hearse pulled up in the driveway. They put the door up and everybody just walked out and just looked at the coffin. They opened up the coffin in the hearse. They weren't allowed to touch him because he had COVID-19. They sat there with a full face mask on and the gloves on. And they just, oh, boy died, boy husband. The wife couldn't even kiss her husband goodbye because he had COVID-19. And then they just shut the lid and they drove the hearse out the door and everybody walked back out and got in their cars and drove home. They didn't even go into the house. They still had to keep 2 metre distance from each other. And there was a maximum of 10 people. So how the hell are they going to find his wallet in Nimbin, for Christ's sake? I mean, this is bloody St Mary's Penrith area. Tens of thousands of people. Nimbin's got a population maybe 2,000 or 3,000. One swimming pool fit in my backyard, their town swimming pool. So that's small. I mean, I've been in it, right? So nobody go out to abandoned disused house during the COVID-19 pandemic for 18 months. No way. It's a dirty, filthy, grotty looking thing. Go and look at the news clip. It's disgusting. The ceilings are falling down. You're going to walk in there with a COVID-19 pandemic around and you're told to stay inside your own front yard? That's why they didn't find his wallet for 2 years. Because everything just stopped, the COVID. Somebody's found his wallet, taken it out to Nimbin, heard about it on the news, threw it in the house, COVID's hit, everybody stopped for 2 years. And now since June, somebody's gone in there and found it from a tip-off. Probably some druggo said, oh, shit, that's Theo Hatez. Oh, shit, that's that backpacker 18 months ago, 2 years ago. And then he's decided to ring up and try and get a reward because he's a drug addict. Whoever he was rang up the private investigator or rang up the cops. And then they went out there. That's right, the private investigator. That's right. I think it was Ken went out there and he found it. And he found it out there with that other woman's ID who come from Bundaberg. And they found that June this year, and her body was found June last year when she left Bundaberg at the end of 2019, 6 months after Theo. Case closed. I think it's a very simple case. Theo got drowned. He's walked down. If it's a high tide, he fought. That's why the mystery track. Someone showed him the shortcut because if you measure the length of the road, up over the top, and it's quicker to go that way and just in instead of going round up over the top. I did a Google Earth. It's been uploaded. Please watch it. You'll see me going along there, Google Earth, or you do it yourself. Go and have a gander. Calais Beach Road, and you see how many hills there are. I'm not even going to bother wasting my time going up there now. Mystery solved as far as I'm concerned. I know, I've got 2 crippled legs. If I was going to walk all the way up there, I know for a fact I'd be walking exactly the same way he would have walked to go down to that beach, because that's where the backpackers go. They go down there to drink the booze, smoke the pot, and have a good time. Theo didn't smoke pot. He just wanted to have a booze and a drink. He got thrown out of a pub accused of being drunk. He wasn't drunk. He didn't want to go back to the hostel. He clearly had no intention of going back to the hostel because he was clearly looking at his phone, and he just went, oh, yeah, I'll go back to that page. But my hostel was on. It showed me how to get into town. He just reopened that. And then he said, right, oh, yeah. And then he moved it across, and you could see his hand looking at it. And he started, oh, right, okay, I'll go to left. And that's why when you look at his picture, he's watching his eyes, oh, yeah, now I'll go this way. And he worked out and he followed the street until somebody intercepted him and said, no, turn around and go back, you're going the long way. And then somebody up there kindly showed him the right way to go. No malice, no full intention. And then somehow he's ended up by himself. I'm surprised. I'm guessing high tide, and he's got washed out somehow or another, because where his stuff was not in the water. It wasn't too far away from the water, and it just seemed to sit there, right where the person comes around to walk around the rocks. And then they said 12 hours later, well, the tide goes in for 12 hours, goes out for 12 hours later, goes out, then it comes back 12 hours, 13 hours later. So you think about it. If it's a high tide at midnight, it's going to be low tide at lunchtime. Low tide at lunchtime is when they're going to walk around those rocks. That's why the phone went round the headland. Go and look at your tide charts. East coast of Australia, even the Hawkesbury Rivers, exactly the same at Windsor. 11 a.m, it's low tide. 11 p.m, it's high tide. And then the next day at 11:15, it's low tide. The next day it's 11:15 at night, it's high tide. Right? It goes up by every 15 minutes. It's not exactly 12-hour clock, because then it never always be the same. It doesn't, it varies. It's 12 hours and a bit, or 11 hours and a bit, or something like that. You go look at the time chart. They're not exactly 12 hours. Right? It's a planet and a moon. The moon goes around and the planet goes around, and that gives you your tide. Well, you know that. You don't need me to tell you that. You're not stupid. I think we worked it out. As I said, every mystery is like a sandwich. You just got to get the sandwich, and you've got to pull it all apart. See? So you've got your Theo sandwich, and I think that's basically what's happening. Oh, iRocker. I hope iRocker's watching this one too. It's a beautiful coin. Here we go. It says Australia sovereign coin. Bathurst 2735 postcode, I think, established 1815. That's my giveaway. Okay. If somebody, that cost me money. That wasn't cheap. It's actual sovereign coin. Right? You want a sovereign coin of Bathurst. How can I do it? So Australia sovereign coin on the back facing me. Right. That says Bathurst. And I think that's the courthouse at Bathurst. I'll see if I can get up there for you can see it. Anyway, it does. It says Bathurst. 1815. That's when they got out there. So if you want that, that's a 200-year-old anniversary coin, right? See, it's a little plastic thing. I'll stick it in an envelope. I'll post it to you anywhere around the world. First one in. If you want a sovereign coin, send me an email, mrhominoid@gmail. Send you a Bathurst sovereign coin, 206-year anniversary. Pretty sure that's what it says. Australian sovereign coins. Bathurst, New South Wales, 279525. Can't quite see it. Established 1815. There you go. Bathurst was established in 1815. So if you want to do the Bathurst 500, there you go. And I've still got some Bathurst road maps here for the Bathurst 5000. Says later, getting off. I better know. They might go somewhere else. Might go do the Pansy train. What do you want to go do the Pansy train? Let me know. Leave me a comment. What do you want to do, Pansy train? Yeah, we're going to do it. So that's a Pansy train. That's a Pansy train went over the railway bridge at North Richmond. So you don't realise it. That's the old Currajong Road, which is all covered up in bushes now. And the cars used to drive around there and the train come back there. And then the train come up here, which is now the road here. And that road there now goes dead straight. Go look at it. It's North Richmond Hawkesbury River Bridge. You'll see it. You'll see the old Currajong Roads there on the eastern side of the river. And that over there is the BP petrol station. And that is, so that's a big park over there. That's a BP petrol station. So that's the sort of stuff I do. And there's the train my father drove. Actual fact, my father was actually driving that. The guy who actually took the photo was Jock Struthers. He was my father's apprentice. He jumped out. He said, Ralph, stop the train. He jumped out and he took the photograph. And that was taken back in 1955. So, so I do all the dishes, railway line stuff. That's how they built the train tracks. All with some buggies, all with some wagons. Anyway, God bless you, Theo. Or, as I said, if somebody wants a Kubra calendar, Australia Kubra calendar, it's got all the stuff on it there for Kubra. Let me know. You can have it. Right? It's nearly out of date. It's brand new. It's supposed to be given away back in December last year, and nobody replied. It cost me $25. You know, it's got some beautiful Australian pictures on it. I mean, you can always take them out and hang them up there somewhere. Look, real country people. Look, blokes seen on train tracks, and buddy woman with the beach up there at Fraser Island with the kangaroo, and you know, all sorts of stuff. I just give stuff away all the time. Says later, Mr. Ominoy, get off. I'm going to get him a cup of coffee. I'm going to bed. No, I'm not. I'm going to go watch TV. I'm going to get me coffee. Says later. I hope we solved the puzzle with Theo. I don't think he's murdered. I think he accidentally drowned. Somebody found his wallet and took it, dropped it off over at Nimba and threw his phone in the bin. Plain and simple. That's my theory. If they find a body, good. Then there's going to be closure there for the family. The way I read it, from the way how he walked, my cab experience, and why he went that way, and the people I'd known up there, and I drove a cab up there, and I mean, I was there on one story. I said, one of my previous videos, I said, I pulled up in front of the old picture theatre, 1997. And a young boy said to me, he said, can I check out your bus? I said, no. I said, wait a minute. I walked down the stairs and went around. I said, Mum and Dad, I said, your son wants to come up in the bus here with his brother. Can he come and have a look? I said, as long as you go with him. They said, yeah. So I'm going to get this one out now. I forgot to say this last bit. Anyway, so they come in there and Dad walks in and Dad sees me taxi photo hanging up on the wall, right? It's hanging up on the side of the wall there, you know, up there in the conduit. I've got the electrical cables running for the power points and run the kettles and everything else. And, I'll be out there in a minute. This dog, he's giving me that's how he talks to me. He talks to me. Anyway, I don't know if you heard that. Turn up the volume, rewind it, turn up the volume here and go. He talks to me. Anyway, so they come in here and they looked at the bus and they walked in the back, seen the double bed, the Foxtel, the internet, the solar power, the instantaneous. I still got the gas hot water system, still got the 12-volt fridge and freezer, still got the instantaneous gas hot water system, still got the gas tanks and the hoses and pipes and everything else, and the shower fittings, and still got everything. And I just sold the bus. I stripped it all out and I sold the bus to this guy who said he was going to use it as an office. I said, well, stuff you. I'm taking out the $700 gas hot water system. I took out the bloody power inverters. I took out everything. I said, well, you come back here with the money. I said, I'll sell you the bus. I didn't say I was going to sell him the house. I said, I'll sell you the bus as an office. And he said, yeah, that's all I want. So all I want is the house fridge and the kitchen sink. Stupid bastard opened his big mouth, didn't he? So I ripped out the gas instantaneous hot water and the water tank. That's sitting out the back of the big yellow thing. Send me videos, go down and look at my videos. You send me out there during the hailstorm, you see the big yellow water tank still sitting there when that big hailstorm we had here a couple of months ago. It's in the video. You can see it's got the red bars on it. Anyway, and also in that same downpour of hail, you see the fridge and freezer getting hail washed on them. Anyway, it doesn't hurt them. Anyway, that was 97, about 2010. So this is 13 years later. Now, let's just say he's 16. That means now he's 29. Right? He's 29 years old. I go, Byron Bay, get off the bus. There's no trains anymore, 2004. And I go walking in the pub there opposite the train station. Go sitting in the back there. I'm dead tired, I'm just tired to get off the bloody bus and train. Been on for 14 hours. I'm going to have a couple of schooners. I'm going upstairs. I'm going to bed. Didn't have a car. Went up there by train and I caught the bus. And I decided to put $20 in this bloody. Well, actually, I think it was the one with you get the gold dingers. You get the 3 round gold things, and then you get a feature of 4 or 5. Then you can choose how many free spins times how much. You get more free spins, less amount, or less free spins, you get higher amount, right? And I was playing that, and next thing I come up, I get this, how you going? Calls me by my first name. So around I look, do I know you? He says, yeah, by my real Christian name, right? He said, you're the bus man. You don't remember me. I said, how long are you talking about? He said, 13 years ago. I said, don't you think you've grown up a bit since then? Oh, didn't think about that. He said, yeah, look, I've got whiskers now. See, I've got that sort of face. No matter how old I get, I still look the same. I mean, look, I still look the same in a way. I still got the same smile. You know what I mean? I've got that very particular voice. I still have the same voice, even now I've got no teeth, but that's the way I always talk, I'm a country guy, And he says, oh, that's right, yeah. I was the older brother when Mum and Dad walked into your bus in front of the old movie theatre. Bang, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And oh, now I know. Yeah, where's your dad? Oh, yeah, he's good. He's out there and now he's working out on a farm, I said, did he end up getting the bus? He said, oh, yeah, he bought a little bloody, what's her name, Ben or something. And next thing you know, something that was in next thing you know, mates come in and grabbed him. And away he went. He disappeared. I never got to see him again. So if you're up there in Byron Bay, you're the kid that come up and see me in the Byron Bay pub opposite the railway station back in 2010. Send me an email, Mr. Hominoid on YouTube, Mr. Hominoid at gmail.com. Don't say hello. God, you probably, what will you be now, 35, 40? It's a small world. My cousin's up there at Nimbin. I haven't seen him for 50 years. Hello, M, if I'm going to say, if he hears about this, because I'm going to write on this, the Theo Byron Bay mystery. So these easiest. I said, that is my cousin. Yeah, N. Yeah, M first name starts with N. Not M. Mr. Hominoid. It's N. Anyway, such a good laugh. So if you remember me from driving a cab in Sydney, or you remember me from somewhere, and you want to get in contact, mrhominoid at gmail.com. All right. So I'm always happy to hear from somebody from the past, because a lot of my old mates now dropped dead. My brother dropped dead, and my ex-missus, she dropped dead. She died years ago. Chris's mum dropped dead. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Chris, and his wife, Cassie. Hope you're better, Chris. He's got a bad back. He's up there at Ballina. We're going to have to start a charity event up there for Chris up there at Ballina. He needs a bit of money. Well, I'll give his phone number so he can put money into his bank. He's watching this. He'll probably give me a thumbs up or leave me a smart-ass comment. I love him. Love you, son. Love you, Mrs. D. She's beautiful. Anyway, love all my kids. Anyway, from me, Mr. Hominoid, 1 hour up. See you later. Bugger off. If you remember me from the past, the greatest mystery I still got. 1993. I was 30 years old. I walked into the Pacific Hotel in Cairns, and I said, the Shane was with me from Sydney. He was a chef. There was Peter, and there was another guy who had a funny name. I can't think. He's a friend of an old judge friend of mine. And we walked in. He said, "Oh, this friend, let's call him Zorba, but it wasn't Zorba." Zorba says, "Oh, let's go into Pacific Hotel, have a cup of coffee. We'll set up on the thing. We'll look out at the ocean up there in Cairns." This is what I mean. I get recognised everywhere, right? And I'm sitting up there, and here comes the cups of coffee, and they've got P on the chocolate, right? P on the chocolate. The third one's got P on the chocolate. And the fourth one comes over to me, it's got N. I said to the girl, I said, "Why is there an N on my coffee?" And I knew full well it wasn't my name, right? N. And she said, "Your first name is..." I said, "Yeah, how do you know?" "Oh," she said, "our chef over there just made you the coffee. Was in class 2B with you at Richmond Primary School in New South Wales way back in 1968. 1968, and this is 1993. And to this day, I still don't know who he was. So hello, chef. If that was you, you see this video, you still got me bamboozled. I still don't know who you were. But the coffee came out with an N on it. We even took a photo of it. We had the 3 coffee cups with P on it, and my one there with an N, because oh, that's him from school. I'd never change. I've always been the same. See you later. Get off me bloody channel. Go home. Go make a coffee. Go and have a cup of tea. Go and give your missus or your loved one a kiss and a cuddle. Kiss the dog. Kiss the budgie. Whatever you want to do. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Share, like, and subscribe. You know all the other crap that goes the rest of the YouTube stuff. And see you later. I hope we solve the mystery. That's why he walked the way he walked, Theo. It was shorter. It was a shorter way. That's why. Somebody showed him the shorter route. Like the route to go, right? The shorter, right? ROUTE, right? Don't somebody be rude. Right, see you.